Hello everybody! Welcome back for another exciting season of the MIT League of Legends Club. We are starting off here with game number 1, match number 1 in the Spring 2016 tournament. We have on the blue side ARAR, all random, all ranked. On the purple side, we have Team8s. We are excited to be bringing you another great match, hopefully. We got the fabled TriCast team back here, reprising from the final of the IAP tournament. We're ready to have some fun. Hope you're ready to have some fun. Send us a message on Twitch chat if our audio is out of whack, because we have no idea.
We have some idea.
We did test beforehand. But tell us if we're wrong, basically. Coming right out the gate, got bans for Master Yi and Rammus coming out from ARAR. Teemo and Morgana banned out coming out first. Interesting choices.
Okay, so I can talk a little bit about a couple of these. Master Yi... Never mind, I'm not going to talk about Master Yi yet. Teemo... Actually something that has been played a fair amount recently as ADC by Narfi, so possibly targeted at him. Meanwhile, the Morgana is the most played champion in the support role for ZB Tech. The Master Yi is pretty much the only thing that Fluffykins has played, at least on this account. If he or she has other accounts, I don't know.
We don't know.
We just don't know.
Yeah, and the other champion played by Fluffykins on this account is Rammus, in the few games that are not Master Yi.
Alright, so it seems like we just got a couple of strong target bans coming out right out of the gate. The Jhin being a target ban as well.
And
so,
at least we saw Green Bay played that a few times in our last couple tournaments.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's pretty much
success.
Green Bay's main champion.
At
Now,
this
I'm
point.
used to seeing Green Bay on Udyr in these tournaments. I feel like that's all I ever see him on when I cast, but...
So we might...
see
if
see
ooh,
something
the Volibear. This is,
I like this.
this is a pocket pick for sure.
It's a pocket pick, and also it takes it away, because this is one of Green Bay's favorite champions. Behind that, Elise, is the Volibear. So, yeah, nice. I like that. Both taking away a strong pick and getting one for yourself.
And out of the gate, a Shyvana pickup. Pretty strong jungler in the current meta. We are, of course, on the newest patch. So we did see some light Shyvana nerfs coming through in those most recent patches.
That being said, with Devour into Titanic Hydra, I mean, we'll have to see how it works out, because both Shyvana and Titanic Hydra received nerfs.
Yes. I mean, the Shyvana nerf itself was pretty small. Most of the nerf for Shyvana was probably in the nerf for Titanic Hydra itself.
And just the great synergy that item has with Devourer, which you'll
and
generally
and
pick
the
up on
twin bite,
Shyvana.
and the twin bite. We'll see. We'll see
a lot
how
of
it
on-hit
plays out.
effects.
A lot of on-hit effects.
Yeah.
Like, she's still going to do a ton of damage because that's pretty much what she's designed to do. We'll see how that plays out as we get into the game, but we see another power pick, Soraka, being hovered, swapped out for the Lulu now.
We'll have to see what ZB Tech takes. I'm not necessarily expecting a Soraka, because it's not one of the more played champions, but who knows?
And we did see an
Right.
Ezreal pick up on the other side, just around that first round.
Yeah.
Still
work.
quite strong on this
Yeah.
patch.
Behind-
Gonna be going up against a Vayne, it looks like, in the bot lane. So
Ezreal just has that insane kite potential, and unlike previous seasons, right now he actually scales extremely well into the late game, because sorry, the cooldown reset on Q is bigger than ever. It's up to 1.5 seconds. So your kite potential is absolutely insane. Once you have a Mirror Mana and an Iceborne Gauntlet, if you're good at Ezreal, it's hard to touch them.
Yep, and we
we did see the other cooldowns going up a little bit on Ezreal to compensate.
A little bit, yeah.
But yes, if you're hitting all your Qs...
If you're hitting all your Qs, it's less.
You're doing well.
Yep, and we see the Janna get locked in as well. So we have our bot lane matchup already. That is a Janna Ezreal versus a Lulu Vayne. These are two pretty
I think
safe lanes, honestly.
That could also be a top lane Lulu still. We don't know those.
Could also-
Both the
Ooh,
Nautilus
support
and
Nautilus,
Lulu
that's true.
are top support
I
flex picks, which
would
is
not be
an interesting
surprised
combination.
to see. Yeah. Honestly, I don't see either of those bot lanes very often, unless it is a Nautilus Vayne, which would be, I guess, a bit more common. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think
Top lane Nautilus is still quite strong.
Top lane Nautilus is quite strong. I think they are. Both of those would be a protection for the Vayne.
Yes,
I
they
think
would.
Like, Lulu gives a lot of utility around your AD carry.
Yeah.
You can give shields. You can shut down
Ooh.
your opposing ADC. Hovering the Caitlyn,
Yeah,
which would be an interesting pickup. That would probably be
a
looking at a mid lane Ezreal.
Yeah,
if we saw
that's actually if they do lock this Caitlyn, that's actually a very, very good flex from the teammates, because The Caitlyn is actually a very punishing matchup for Vayne, being able to outrange her in lane, having a far superior laning phase, and the Caitlyn does get locked in. And the Caitlyn Janna, very, very good at long-range harass, not something that Vayne knows how to deal with necessarily. So that was good flex.
That's going to provide a very tough early game for this Vayne. And we do see, it is going to be the Ezreal flex over to the mid lane, so picking up barrier.
Not bad.
Okay, so
Good draft from Team8s.
That comp is all about just kiting. You have the Lissandra to create zones in team fights that you can kite around. Janna for disengage.
Ezreal for more kiting, and then you have Shyvana.
And Shyvana to...
Shyvana's a generally strong pick right now.
Yeah.
Probably going to be in the early to mid game, once he hits level 6, trying to provide those high impact ganks.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile,
it is going to take some time for Shyvana to scale up with Devour and Enchant, though.
Yes, it is.
And we'll have to track that.
I mean, it also depends on what jungle item the Volibear decides to go as well, because Devour Volibear is something that we have seen before. This is a legitimate build. It does a crap ton of damage. Again, Titanic Hydra got nerfed. That's going to affect both of those junglers pretty equally. But we'll see who finishes stacking the Devour first.
Yeah,
who can make the more impactful
honestly,
plays.
I would expect a Cinder Hulk Volibear.
I would also have to expect the Cinder Hulk, just because you get so much extra health with the Volibear passive. That scales off.
But we'll have to see. Volibear is actually pretty strong right now, one of the highest winning junglers in the current meta, and he did not get hit, if I remember correctly, in the latest patch. So he is as strong as ever.
Strategic diversity, guys.
I think this comp is mostly just going to try to protect the Vayne and set up picks. You've got great pick potential between Syndra, Volibear, Nautilus, and everyone actually. And then really good protection just from Lulu and Nautilus. Expecting Nautilus just become a giant tank in that top lane and just ideally in team fights basically just standing on top of the Vayne, body blocking for her, peeling for her.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting. We see, two directly opposing comps, a pick comp into a kite comp. So it's about who can execute on their sort of team's fantasy a bit better than the other.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm kind of curious to see how Green Bay builds out this Shyvana. I think both Nautilus and Volibear are going to be pretty high health tanks into the later game.
Yeah.
So I might be curious to see Shyvana picking up a Blade of the Ruined King, perhaps, rather than Titanic Hydra for those high health targets.
That wouldn't necessarily be a bad play.
That being said, Green Bay is the only potential tank on that side.
It's true. Lissandra can last a long time in the middle of the fight.
That's true. Having
just
picked up Lissandra, you just
with the Zhonya's, you kind of stick around being annoying for a long time, which is what you generally want out of your tank.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
Lissandra
fair.
can provide that role.
Yeah, and they have a lot of kiting as well, which means they can kind of get away with fewer tanks to some degree at least. And Ezreal gets kind of tanky with his general build, anyways.
Well, it's just hard to reach him more than the tank stats it gives him. I mean, I think Green Bay's build is going to be very, very important this game. Being the only tank/frontline champion on his team, he's going to have to balance out exactly how much damage he wants to do with, not dying instantly to Syndra and Vayne. If he can find that balance and be that big frontline bruiser for his team, I think Team8s has a pretty solid team combo in there.
Yeah, I think overall Team8s draft looks, I would say a little bit stronger.
Yeah. The one other thing we should talk about though is the laning matchups, and I think, especially in the solo lanes, I think ARAR actually might have the advantage.
ARAR.
So.
Syndra Ezreal is not a laning matchup you see particularly often. So I'm not sure how exactly you want to gauge that.
I figure Ezreal is probably pretty safe, but he certainly should not be able to fight the Syndra at any point in that laning phase.
I mean, we do sort of see that in the summoner spell choice as well. We have
exactly.
Ezreal taking the defensive summoner, Syndra taking the offensive.
Right. If Syndra can catch him with a good E, especially if there's a gank coming from the Volibear who loves to gank early, that could be a dead Ezreal, even with the Arcane Shift and the Flash.
It's also worth noting that Syndra has far superior roam potential to Ezreal, being able to toss out a very, very long-range stun and then a hefty amount of burst damage and follow-up CC. So we'll see how that works out as well.
The final
shout outs to the 2 people rocking the 6.3 MIT Law Club tag.
Excellent.
Well done, Narfi and Cruiser.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm interested to see where Narfi goes with this injury this game, honestly, because that lane matchup is a little bit stacked in his favor. He has the Ignite, he has the CC and armor potential, he has the wave clear that Ezreal just doesn't really have early on, right?
Ezreal's wave clear is basically, I mean, once he has Iceborne Gauntlet, it gets better.
It's a little
otherwise
better.
it's Assault.
It's not that great.
But yeah, his wave clear is pretty bad.
You don't pick Ezreal then for the wave clear.
Also, the top lane matchup, I'm very curious to see how this works out. Nautilus into Lissandra, I think Nautilus has an advantage. Because I don't think Lissandra really has the damage to push him out of lane. He can just out wave clear early, sustain up with Corrupting Potion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like we've seen both here, Korea, NA, like Lissandra top lane versus big tanks doesn't really tend to work out well. Just you don't have the damage to really do anything to the early line. Sure, you can lock them down for a bit. Sure, you can kite them, but at the end of the day, your spells are really mana inefficient early. You don't have the base damage. You don't have the tank stats, and you stand a very real chance of just getting bodied out of that lane.
And if you ever get hit by that hook from Nautilus, which has a massive hitbox and is really hard to dodge, you're going to take the really nasty end of a trade.
Yeah.
And again, especially if there's a Volibear just wandering into your lane.
I mean, the other end of that, as we talked about a little bit earlier, I think the bot lane matchup does go heavily in favor of Team8s early.
That is true.
Caitlyn Janna is going to be a very, very punishing lane early on for Vayne Lulu.
Yeah. I think Vayne Lulu will have a lot of difficulty getting much done early on, other than just trying to farm up safely.
Yeah, I think against the Janna, it's hard to get in range for Vayne to do the damage when you have the Tornado available, the targeted slows available.
Yeah.
And Janna putting the shield onto Caitlyn. Yeah, the net, exactly. And the traps.
And that Janna shield with a headshot is
It hurts.
very nasty.
It hurts a lot.
Having been on both ends of that.
So I think Team8s really does need Cruiser to use that advantage early, get ahead in that bot lane, build up a big CS lead, and then take that advantage into the other lanes and help out the solo laners.
Yep. Having actually played a lot of Janna Caitlyn in recent memory, I totally agree with what these guys have to say. That is just a really, really punishing lane. The Lulu shield is not going to be able to mitigate enough of the poke damage coming in from Caitlyn. And I think that if Cruiser plays this well, the first few levels of this lane should go pretty smoothly for the Team8s. Caitlyn Janna, really, really good poke, really, really safe lane. Pretty safe in ganks too. Janna offers good disengage, Caitlyn has an escape. Jungler is Volibear, all he can do is really run up to you and try to bite you in the face.
And throw you if he gets there.
Or if he gets there, but he's not going to get there against Janna Caitlyn. I don't see that happening unless it burns the flash.
Yeah. And we are just now loaded into Summoner's Rift, ready to start off game number 1.
Starting out the game in style with the Mastery Spam and Lulu Laugh. I like it.
That's also one of the better Lulu skins, I would have to say. Pool Party, pretty quality. I'm personally a fan of Winter Wonder Lulu.
I'm personally a fan of Wicked Lulu. I've been playing Lulu since she came out, and I'm just really fond of that skin. But
Wicked Lulu also pretty good.
Yeah, she turns into a cat. It's adorable.
Oh, that is cute. And
in MIT Law Club style, we see a pause coming in as Cruiser DCs in the first minute of the game. Okay. He can't open the store. That's kind of a problem.
That is a problem, yes. Items. Anyone tuning in who is new to League of Legends?
Items are really important.
They get you a lot of stats. Stats are good.
All right. We're just gonna put that over here for now. But yeah, all right. We'll see. We'll see if he can fix his shop issues as he makes his way back into the game. Nautilus Corrupting Potion, very, very unsurprising starting build there. Something I do want to point out actually is that both junglers opted for a more defensive mastery setup. This is not very surprising on Volibear. But we do see Gravitas and Green Bay both actually taking that Strength of the Ages mastery. So neither of them really went too far into that offensive tree. I have seen for Battle Shyvana, it is really, really scary. It does a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. You can get like 5 stacks on it in 1 second. It's pretty ridiculous.
That is many stacks, yeah.
That is
between the Devourer and the
Q reset, yeah. You auto attack Q and you get like 1 billion stacks right away. But Again, both junglers opting for that defensive mastery setup. We'll see how that translates later on into the game. Let's take a look at... Oh, well,
we can't move
this
that
doesn't
box.
drag, so that's kind of unfortunate.
Rito, please.
Rito, please. Rito, please. Why? Anyways,
Yeah.
starting... Thanks a lot, Riot.
Got exciting time-filling commentary for you in this pause. Doesn't look like either team is opting for any of the level 1 cheese. I guess neither of these supports really is able to do a lot of that. If we had like an Alistar or a Braum, we might see a little bit more of the aggressive level 1 plays.
Right. I mean, these two teams on the whole have pretty atrocious level 1s. I gotta say, like, Syndra needs level 2 to do anything. Nautilus can't hook over the wall, and Volibear has to actually get in range to, you know, do his little CC dance and fling you backwards. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Lysandra who can't go in. Ezreal has no CC. And Janna who has to charge a freaking tornado. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of level 1 action, especially off the end of the Cruiser not being able to open the storage base.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have everyone back into the game sometime soon.
Yep.
But we're just going to go quickly through the lineup so I can know how to pronounce the names, because that is important. We have Tyr Nabas in the top lane on Nautilus, and... if people on the teams are watching this, please do say something in the stream if I'm saying your names completely wrong. Gravitas on Volibear in the jungle, Narfi in the mid lane on Syndra, Turtle hit playing Vayne, and ZBTech supporting on the Lulu. Meanwhile, on Team8s, we have Kaleido playing Lysandra in the top lane, Green Bay in the jungle, that's False Cut in mid lane, and Cruiser and Fluffykins in the bottom lane with the Caitlyn Janna combo.
Alright, so, I've been informed that 3 minutes into the future, the pause is going to be lifted. So, you guys all have that to look forward to.
Alright, maybe we're going to take a quick break for the next couple minutes then.
Alright.
Let you guys enjoy a little bit more Silver Scrapes while we wait for this pause to resolve itself.
Alright, be back in a minute, guys.
And hello again, we are unpaused
And
into
back
game number
in
1.
action, alright.
Well, I don't know back in action. We never really got into the action. We are in the action. In
We're getting
game
into
number
action.
1.
Alright.
It is ARAR versus Team8s, and as we predicted, not a lot of level 1 happening.
Yeah.
Nobody really going for it.
Yep.
There's some
The
very
last spam in the
important
bush.
action, yeah. Lulu last spam, some of the best last spam in the game.
There we go. All
That's
right.
what we're talking about.
That's what we're looking at.
The pufferfish. It's pretty cute.
The pufferfish. All right, you're right. It's a pretty cute skin.
And
Ooh, the mystic
I
shot
love
actually.
that
missing.
skin.
Mystic shot. Good guess in the bush there.
Yeah, good dodge.
Ezreal is being pinged out.
Oh,
first
second
damage
one. All right,
of the
all
game.
right.
That's why I should have taken Bandit. That's,
Should have taken.
that could have been 5 gold.
Bandit is really great on some champions, I will have you know. Especially, my new favorite champion to play all the time is Poppy, and her ranged auto attack, or passive, counts as a melee auto attack for all intents and purposes. It'll proc
Oh gosh.
everything that melee is proc.
Is it
So
proc Titanic Hydra? That would look interesting.
I assume so. I've never actually tried that, but I would assume so.
That would look awesome.
That would be pretty cool.
Anyways, we do see both bot lanes giving their junglers the level 1 leash rather than taking a
Yep.
camp.
Pretty common. And now we already see Cruiser putting in the hurt. Like, ZB Tech can trade a little bit back onto Janna, but that damage is not really going to stick, as Janna has a lot of potions, and that Vayne HP is going to matter a lot more than that Janna HP coming in later into this laning phase.
Absolutely will.
ZB Tech doing a pretty good job, though. Doing what he can to keep the Caitlyn Janna lane at bay.
Yeah, he's actually got the Janna of Fluffykins down to about half health now, so which is pretty early time to be that low.
Still has all the potions, though.
Still does have all, and we do see him popping the first one of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. Like, as a support player, you're almost supposed to burn those potions. It is a bit surprising that Cruiser's getting pushed in so hard.
Yeah, that's a pretty good job of zoning by ZB Tech. I think Fluffykins is having a hard time dealing with that.
Yeah.
So you see both of these junglers opting for a bottom to top jungle route.
Yep.
As we'd expect, Green Bay on Shyvana is a little bit ahead in the jungle clear.
Shyvana pretty much being the queen of jungle clear. Really hard to contest that one. Ooh,
ZB Tech, continuing to zone Fluffykins out of that bush.
Lulu can be a very punishing support. It's something that people tend to forget about because we never see Lulu in the support.
She
role
has
anymore.
very, very good base damages.
Yeah.
Yep, and a little bit of a fight up here in the top lane. Tierna Boss pushing Kaleido out, both of them down to a little bit above half health. And it's a fairly even trade at the end. Nautilus actually going lower on mana in the early game than Kaleido, which is interesting, and that is going to make his wave clear a lot tougher.
Yeah, it's a
so
good end to the trade there by Kaleido. The thing is, Nautilus does have that corrupting potion. Fluffykins.
I was actually going to say, actually a bit of mistake by Tierna Boss not popping the corrupting potion until after the trade ended.
Yeah.
Especially if you know you're going to take
And
damage.
going in for another trade, gets stunned up by the W from Kaleido, but gets the stun down, putting
now
a
he has
decent
the
amount of
corrupting potion
damage.
running.
There's the corrupting potion
Yeah.
ticking, absolutely right. And Tierna Boss getting poked down, but has that potion ticking. He'll be healing up quite well, and Kaleido actually no more potions in the top lane. So it looks like the Nautilus will be able to poke out in just a little bit. Stun against the wall for Cruiser. Turtle hit getting there down, proccing the Silver Bolts.
That's going to be a really nice trade.
Yeah, that's a very good trade. And
Um,
early on, we do see all 3 lanes actually with some early CS advantages, and Tierna Boss thinking about going in.
I would have gone for that hook.
Yeah.
You would also gone for that hook, Adam.
I tend to play very aggressively in the top lane. And
As you should. Top lane does not reward passive play, necessarily.
top lane almost always rewards aggressive play. Now sometimes you get unlucky and the enemy jungler decides to gank right as you go in, but usually you actually get rewarded for it and push the other guy out of lane or zone them from their farm.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is Warlords on Caitlyn. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what
Not surprising.
you can see that very obvious semicircle.
And we did
as
miss the
we
first blood
missed
up in
the
the
first
top
blood
lane.
in the top
Go
lane.
back and catch that.
Let's go back and see what happens
okay,
there.
so he's
And-
gonna land a hook, is my guess, onto Kaleido.
Land the hook and just the burst damage.
Yep, there's
There's the hook.
And
Really
then
good hook
burst.
through the minion line, actually.
only
And there's
hits one of
corrupting
these.
potion ticking down,
Okay.
auto attack to finish it off.
Yep.
So Tierna Boss picking up the first blood. Does have a little bit of a CS lead. That's going to keep going up as he can push this wave into the tower.
Yeah.
We will see the,
This
the
is-
TP coming back to maybe catch the tail end of that.
This is kind of what we expected to see. The corrupting potion on Nautilus
It's
you-
so powerful.
It's so powerful.
There
Good
it
Q
is.
hit from Cruiser onto Turtle.
We completely saw the difference it makes when he pops that corrupting potion when he's actually trading with Kaleido there.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And he is going to back and get some items. First off, it does look like it's going to be a Rod of Ages start for Lysandra in top lane.
All right.
Yep, that's pretty common.
Yeah, that's gonna limit her. That's gonna limit her ability to really do that much to this Nautilus later on in the laning phase, though. She's not gonna have the damage for it, though. She will have a little bit better mana sustain.
Yeah, it is going to be
Right,
better
that's-
going into late game. That is going to mean, though, that it's a long time before Lissandra's going to have the combat stats to be able to trade.
Yeah, it's true. Now,
And we just see some counter jungling coming in from Siobhan. Oh, no,
here is here is something for you top lane players out there. He's actually going to miss a few of those. But, so, when Team8s got the solo kill up on Kaleido in the top side, he didn't just recall right away. He was very careful to push those minions directly into Kaleido's turret. And what that does is force Kaleido to actually TP back to lane if he doesn't want to miss 6 or 7 CS to that turret.
And it does look like we're about to have a party in the bot lane as we have Narfi
burning
burning down on Syndra. Gravitas is also in the bot lane. Cruiser flashes out of the Syndra stun. Fluffykins, though, gets caught in the toss by Volibear. Gonna have to get out of there. Flashes to try and avoid the last proc of the Silver Bolts. I think the damage still came through there. So that gank is going to push Fluffykins out of lane and leave Cruiser very low on mana in the bot lane.
Alright, so 2 flashes burned. 2 flashes burned, no kills traded over. Notably, though...
Green Bay up in the top lane, gonna try and come in on Team8s. Let's see how much this Shyvana can actually do. Spectre's Cal already picked up from Team8s, so not taking a whole lot of damage. Push it back, has to flash out of the ult. That's the ult from Lissandra coming out, but they don't have the follow-up damage.
Oh,
Kaleido's actually going to go down to the corrupting potion from Team8s.
Oh my god.
Misjudged that re-engage.
A little bit of miscommunication coming in from the Team8s. As Green Bay goes in, Kaleido actually goes back out, and then the scattered communication at the end of the day. Ooh,
and False Cut taking a ton of damage. The Ignite's going to tick down. The barrier just about going to keep False Cut alive. That potion ticking down is going to survive, but just barely in the mid lane.
Okay.
So these early solo lanes, as we were talking about before the game, really going in favor of ARAR.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we expected to see.
It's totally what we expected.
So Fluffykins showing in the mid lane. Don't actually know what he's doing here.
First off, in the top lane,
shield the turret. Shield the turret. You're Janna.
Shield
the turret.
with the
damn it, Fluffykins.
With the big tanks in the top lane these days, Nautilus, Poppy,
Rammus, Shen.
Not so much Rammus.
Rammus is falling
to some
degree.
I'm just like certain tanks. You always have to be careful about their turn potential and ganks, and to like turn around to kill 1v2.
Yeah, that was actually without turret
assistance
even.
Right.
Yeah.
Kaleido just not respecting the burst that Nautilus can... Yeah, just not respecting that burst from the Nautilus, just from his base damages, which are, despite a couple nerfs, still really good.
The other thing that makes tanks deceptively strong is... Grasp of the Undying.
Yeah,
the Grasp proc does so much damage. It's really, really easy to underestimate because it's just the Keystone Mastery. You see that green thing flicker once every few seconds, it does so much damage.
Grasp the Undying is absolutely insane. It's basically
and TP coming down from Team8s. It's a 3v2 in the bot lane.
Neither of these guys have
so much CC. Cruiser goes down to the Vayne very quickly. Silverbolt's great condemn stun against the wall. Double kill for Vayne.
Very nice double kill.
Beautiful.
And a great job leaving that second kill for Turtle Hit as well. They're going to turn that into a dragon immediately as we have all 5 down in the bot lane. Narfi also roaming down, but not able to get there in time to join the fight. That was a great TP there from Team8s.
They knew the flashes were down.
Yep.
Easy TP behind.
And
just barely with 7 HP fails to steal the dragon. Now, this goes back to what I was actually talking about a little bit earlier, right? In shoving the wave into Kaleido's turret, he forces Kaleido to burn the TP to not miss too much CS to that turret. Now, because he had the leisure to walk back up to lane because the wave wasn't going to come to his turret
he did miss a few CS in that wave.
He missed about 3 or 4, but he could save his TP, be happy with the fact that he's ahead in gold anyways because of that kill, and make that TP play bot lane. Now, the trade-off is because Gravitas committed to bot lane but didn't actually do anything in that gank, they're going to lose top lane. Though, on the other hand, they do secure the dragon, so some would call that worth.
First dragon.
Dragon for turret trade.
Dragon for turret trade.
Not the worst.
Vayne is starting to get fed, and that's going to be a scary Vayne.
Yes, that is the other really important thing. It's very, very important that Vayne gets ahead right now.
Yeah, and that's going to pretty much negate that early laning weakness that Vayne would normally have against the Caitlyn. With those 2 kills, a few CS up. Narfi getting collapsed on in the mid. Kaleido burns the ult for the big lockdown, and Green Bay can follow up with the damage. Good gank in the mid lane.
They rotated straight from taking that top lane turret into the mid lane, and honestly,
they should have seen that going.
Narfi should have expected that. They were hidden on the map.
Yeah, that's actually
no
good rotation.
reason-
They're going to
yeah.
get a little bit of damage down this mid lane
They're-
turret. They do have to watch out for Tyrnabas,
Tyrnabas going
as
to
he's
be able to
already
clear out
picking
the
up
wave.
a lot of items.
That's a strange interaction.
That's not what I've seen before.
That's not really what I
this
expected there.
is
But all
an
right.
interaction that works with any type of hook. If you arcane shift.
Oh, it's not the
before-
hook. I thought he would go all the way. Instead of getting stopped halfway.
It calculates how far you go with the Nautilus hook
At that point of impact.
at the point of
All right.
impact.
Yeah.
So you
Cool.
just go halfway to where you expect it to go anyways.
Today I learned
Or,
something
like,
about
to the
Nautilus.
target.
Always a good day to learn.
So
things
yeah,
about
if you
Nautilus.
if you flash out or like arcane shift out,
He'll still be halfway away from where you
Interaction.
were.
Right. Okay,
Um,
that makes sense.
Same thing happens. Fun fact: Nautilus hook plus Poppy ult have the funniest interaction.
If you're playing Nautilus and about to get hit by Poppy ult,
Just hook
hook the Poppy in. You'll go back to where you were plus a little.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
exactly.
I don't know how that anchor stretches that far. As we do
Well,
see Turtle Hit
well,
pushing in
let's be
Cruiser
honest.
again.
So, see, the thing is that Nautilus says that his anchor is weighing him down, right? Well, when he gets knocked up by Poppy, it's not weighing him down anymore, so he can go however far he wants.
yeah.
And that's Nautilus' big secret.
And looks like taking a Rift Herald up in the top lane. That's Gravitas and Tyrnabas tag teaming that. Not going to be able to do much about that.
Yeah, teammates don't... I mean, they could, but they don't have the vision for it.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Uh,
good as the Rift Herald take.
We'll have to
We'll
see
see
who
who picks that up.
Yeah.
And
It's
looks
gonna
like
be
it
Tyrnabas.
is Tyrnabas.
So going to have that extra pushing power in the top lane. He does not have that turret, so he does have to be careful of the ganks. But at the moment, Shyvana is on the completely opposite
Oh,
side
this
of the
pink
map.
ward is still up. Interesting.
Always walk in the bushes.
Oh,
Gets
the pink
the
ward!
of steel!
Pink ward!
A
The
great
pink ward!
false cut and Gravitas taking it out in annoyance. That is a
The
great blue buff
saltiest
steal.
Bala Bear.
That is
The-
always worth using your ult for.
Yeah.
That's actually going to be pretty big. Narfi's
Yeah.
very low on mana in the mid lane,
if he can
but
avoid
gets the
dying
ult
from
onto
that
false cut.
turn.
Can he get the kill immediately? The barrier going to keep him alive, but he's going to get pushed out of lane by
Have
that
some
perhaps.
more-
Meanwhile, trading
more
back
action
and
in the
forth
top
from the top lane.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think
No.
the Rod of Ages has come through for Kaleido. That's
Okay,
going to help
good.
a bit as that comes out.
Uh,
But right now, still really doesn't want to be trading with Nautilus because he's losing those trades.
Yeah, you don't really want to trade.
Yeah,
you
with-
just want to farm safely. Now, the nice thing about Rod of Ages on Lysandra is actually that's all the mana sustain you
Yes,
need.
it will give you the
Uh,
mana to be able to harass him a little bit. Now, the other thing is,
Yeah, Tyrnabas is going to have to back now. He's out of mana, out of charges on the Corrupting Potion.
but
Yeah.
he has the Rift Herald back. So that's going to be okay. The other
Oh,
thing
yeah.
is,
some action in the mid lane as both the junglers meeting just south of the river. Gravitas waiting for Green Bay.
that's not
Okay.
going to happen. See,
Not gonna
Kaleido doesn't actually want to go for trades. He can't because Rift Herald buffs the minions so much
Yes.
that if you trade in anything remotely resembling a minion wave, you're going to lose half your health and come like on the bottom side of that trade.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
see Tyrnabas
Uh,
walking back to lane once again. So really wants to save that TP for more big plays in the bot lane.
I mean, he's Nautilus. He can do that.
he can. Swag walk back to lane.
Swag walk back to lane.
Oh, missed the cannon minion.
Ah.
That's awkward.
You know, there was a Reddit thread earlier today about how for April Fools, Riot should just make
God.
the cannon minions not display gold.
And false cut coming into the mid lane. Caitlyn
Flash-
coming in. That gonna be saved by the Lulu ultimate and the TP coming in pretty far behind the fight. Actually,
I would have canceled that. I would have canceled that for sure.
yeah, I think that did want to cancel.
Oh,
Flash
Flash
hook,
hook
getting
going
in
all
on the
in.
false cut gets the lockdown, but no damage follow up coming in behind.
He's a
as
tanky
Turtle
Nautilus.
Hit is way out of the fight. Nautilus is going to be tanky enough to survive, but yeah, I think that was a mistake to let that TP continue channeling. Pretty far back out of the fight. He actually had a ward further up in the bush, as well as the rest of the minion wave.
Yeah, the other thing is
Interesting TP choice.
This puts Tyrnabas at kind of an awkward timing because a dragon is not going to be up quite soon enough for him to just stay bot, though he can see if he can make a play into mid lane and translate that into the second dragon.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
already see that
but he
coming up
certainly
in
doesn't have
30
time to go
seconds, as
top
you can
lane.
see on the timer.
Yep.
So that was, not
Okay,
quite the
that's
play
not
that
bad.
they wanted to make in the bot lane, though.
Yeah. And they burned a lot of summoner spells there. Both summoners for Nautilus, both summoners for Vayne.
Yeah.
For
And another
Ooh,
great stun on the
that
first side. He
is
does
going
not
to
have
be
the
Ezreal.
barrier. That's a
Yep.
kill coming
and,
through.
I mean, again, this is the laning matchup we were talking about in the mid lane. Syndra can completely demolish the Ezreal if she just gets one good stun.
Yeah.
And
Fluffykins back in. Didn't.
could have gotten that.
I mean, it's all right
Didn't see him
because
coming
guys,
in.
Dragon just came live. They can use
Right.
this. They can use this back timer to get the dragon, and we actually see the Team8s pinging out dragon.
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised to see them keep pushing and maybe try to pick up that bot lane turret.
Yeah. Gravitas. Well, they would have spotted Green Bay on that ward.
See, the thing is, Green Bay is very low.
Yep, I think that it looks like they're going to try and push that tower down in the bot lane before going for a dragon.
Okay.
Got down to
They're not
about
gonna
half
get it.
health.
I think they should have gone for a dragon.
Oh, no
Janet
true
shielded
shot
turret.
barrage. No true shot barrage. Alright, that's going to be fine. TP coming in on the back, though.
Uh-oh.
And this is why this
And
I might
Lysandra,
not
good
necessarily have
lockdown.
liked this
Turtle
play.
hit is going to be locked up for a long time between the Lysandra W and the ultimate. Good kill coming out for Green Bay as well. And
Exactly.
they are pinging on to Dragon right now. Should be able to take this as they have 4 down in the bot lane now. All 5 coming in.
And see, that's the risky
I
thing
think
about
they are
going
going to lose
for
this
turret.
top lane turret for this Dragon, though. As we see Tirnabas is pushing in, has the full
Yeah.
minion wave. Going to get a ton of damage down onto that.
Yeah,
Find that
there's
right
no
coming through
TP
again.
up for Kaleido, so Tunabas has a lot of time to hit that turret, and he may well get it. Yeah, the
Yeah, and
bot
right
lane
before
turret
this-
was not very low.
It was not very low, you're right. And we did see the mid lane turret going down just before that fight as well.
Right, so
So-
that's a pretty good place, especially when you just take down the mid lane turret. That's always a pretty good place to just turn onto the dragon. They probably could have taken it down before Team8s could have
Yeah, so
responded.
the thing that I feel like they could have done better is that when you go for the bot turret that far up, you're always exposing yourself to
And
that TP
Gravitas
play.
Kaleido coming back into lane
He's
just
gonna
gets
be
stunned
safe.
out
He's
immediately.
gonna
Yeah,
be safe.
Kaleido
He's not gonna
can't
save that
defend
turret,
this
though.
turret. Yeah.
Mostly
And
just-
I think he wants to just back off here. I don't
He
know
does.
why he's...
Gravitas mostly
Why
just
is that
showing
close?
up
To secure the turret.
Secure the turret. Good move by
But
him.
the thing about that dragon play is when you push bot lane that hard, you expose yourself to that TP advantage. And the thing is, if they'd gone for a dragon first, Fluffykins and Cruiser wouldn't actually have been in the area to contest. So instead of TPing down for a 5v4 or a 5v2 bot side or whatever that eventually turned into, the TP would have made it a 3v4 at best. And then the turret is still going to be there for you to get later. Turret's not going anywhere. Dragon, the other team can take.
Yeah, and as we just saw, they just picked up that turret. Now it is going to be traded for the mid lane turret, which
Yep.
Falzcut just took, which...
Oh,
Yeah,
turtle
turret
hit
coming
coming
into the mid lane does not get the
That's-
condemn, and that's going to cost him a lot of health.
He's going to die to that. Almost
And
for sure.
Green Bay, does take down the kill in the end. That's a killing spree. Lysandra coming in, great AoE stun. Green Bay gets
Green Bay
smited out,
lives.
but does not go down. And they're putting out a
Oh
lot
my
of damage.
God.
Gravitas now going down. That's the gigantic Nautilus from the Lulu ultimate. I think he is actually larger than the turrets. With that
No,
Lulu ultimate on him.
now given Green Bay's devour into Jorum's fist build, he survived a lot longer in that fight than I feel like he had any right to do so. And
Yeah.
part of that is on the side of Fluffykins. Oh, that was a really, really nice gen. I'll not use for disengage, but just to keep everyone on the team alive so he can continue making that play.
Yeah. And the continual shields coming
Yeah,
out
that was, wow.
as well. So
Two
a
kills.
good fight in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Couple kills coming out. That's
Two
now
kills for Green Bay, for the Shyvana. That's not the person you want the kills on.
22 stacks, guys. 22 stacks on this one
So
right
very
now.
close to fully stacked.
Yeah.
Dragon obviously helping out quite a bit with
Mm-hmm.
that stacking game.
dragon for the dragon.
Yeah.
Cannibalism!
Just
Yeah.
wait until we get some sassy space dragon on this.
I am. Aurelion Soul is going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
Just wait until we get a Baron-inspired champion.
I do want to mention
The
the
Baron
builds real
cannibalism.
quick. We do see a first item Zhonya's Hourglass coming out.
Okay, that's a little surprising. Most people don't take that build path that far up when they're itemizing against AD.
Usually
Yeah,
you
especially with
sit in a
Ezreal
series,
does
yeah.
not go into a whole lot of AD that early in the game.
Right,
I
he
think
doesn't-
I think that is a little early for that Zhonya's
Yeah.
to come out.
I'm honestly surprised given how hard Narfi has been snowballing in this lane, just crushing the Ezreal. They didn't go for something like an early Ludens, which can really
Right.
snowball a lane.
The thing about Hourglass is it's primarily a defensive item. And when you get ahead early in lane, you don't want to spend your gold on defensive stats necessarily, because they're not going to be able to kill you anyways.
Now, Fluffykins has been caught out here a little bit in the mid lane. They're going to be collapsing from both sides. Turtle Hit just missing the condemn, which I think could have picked up the kill had that landed against the wall.
That could have been a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, though Green Bay was right there, so they
Green
had
Bay
to
was
be
right
careful
there.
about...
But they do also have Narfi coming in for the mid lane.
Yeah,
that's
Narfi
gonna be
is
fine.
very strong right now.
Yeah, and it looks like ARAR is going to be just completely rotating up in the mid lane. That's 4 out of their 5 up there, maybe looking to get the turret. But
Now,
they're going to back off.
Tirnabas has TP. Birth Heralds returns to the void. Alright. Who wants
Yes, Rift Herald committed suicide.
Rift Herald just lane Rift Herald. Yeah, look at the chat logs if you're next time you're in a game. Not-
Yeah, I don't really know what's going on with that.
And a lot of pings coming in onto the bot lane,
What
actually. I don't really know
is
what they're
this?
pinging onto, because it's going to be tough to catch that vein.
I'm-
Fluffykin's going very far to try and look for Turtle
I'm
Hit.
confused about the pings onto bot side. Dragon's on up for another
2 minutes,
2
yeah.
minutes, so I'm not really sure why they're all camping out here.
Yeah, it looks like they might want to rotate over and
Doesn't
try and
quite
take
have
that.
vision.
Try and take that bottom lane turret. But we now do see the rest of the team backing off.
Yeah, Tyrannoboss going to get some damage onto that top side turret. He's going to be perfectly safe there for now.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Kaleido's
Kaleido
Kaleido
Glass
coming
is
up
coming
to
in
try
bot
and
side.
fight him. We have a couple fights happening over here. Gravitas on a ward trying to kill it off. Green Bay coming in. A lot of damage. That's going to pop the Volley Bear passive,
Lulu
perhaps.
has to be burned. Gravitas.
And Gravitas is going to go down in this. A lot of damage. The tower shot onto Cruiser going to do enough damage that Narfi can finish off that kill. Big stuns coming in.
Oh, the
Lysandra
Lysandra
W
snare.
is huge, but Nautilus in the middle of the fight, locking down the entire back line of the team. Can they get the damage in to follow? Tyrannoboss with a big AoE crowd control here. And Turtle Hit, yeah, doesn't want to back off. Can't be going down to Kaleido. With that fight.
The only reason that fight was not like a complete sweep for the teammates is because Tyrannoboss is so huge right now. He just TPs in, stands in the middle of the fight, and cuts everybody off completely. Missed his anchor toss,
Yeah.
didn't even matter. Oh my god.
Huge zones
And
created
actually,
by
I-
both top laners there.
Without that TP, they would have gotten wiped. Like, completely wiped.
Yeah.
Yeah, and doing deceptively good AoE damage
Oh my
as well. With the with the Nautilus, with the Sunfire cape, just being able to stand in the middle of the fight like that.
Yep.
Pulling down the team.
Yeah, fun fact, Sunfire Cape, Bomby Cinder, they stack Grasp of the Undying for you. You can literally just stand there for 4 seconds until Grasp of the Undying is up, auto attack once, and you get that health back, plus that extra damage. But anyways, yeah, that was the top laners creating huge zones for their teams, and that's why most of the people actually walked out of that fight alive. So Kaleido had a huge W and ult, chunking out 3 members of ARAR.
Oh, they can fight
At the
this.
same time,
Well, maybe not, actually.
Yeah, and it's
Tyrannoboss
going to be
was
a
just like,
Dragon number 2 picked up for teammates.
That's going to be the State of Devour for Green Bay.
Tyrannoboss was
Oh,
a
no.
big guy, tanky Nautilus, just sitting in the middle of the teammates' squishies, I guess.
Yeah,
Yep.
and has picked up the Iceborne Gauntlet as well. Really popular item on top laners at the moment.
It's an extremely good item right now.
Oh, the
Stun comes
coming
up onto
through.
Kaleido. Tyrannoboss, it was some extra lockdown. Gonna have to use the ult on himself pretty defensively there. A good Janitornado, though, gonna knock up Gravitas, and actually that is Fluffykins picking up the kill. That is
Wow.
the first kill of this fight. The rest of ARAR has a decent amount of health left, though. Looks like they are gonna try and get some siege on this turret.
I don't think they're going to get very far with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the wave clear from the Iceborne Gauntlet, Ezreal, is starting to come through, and the big
And
trap
Caitlyn.
line getting laid down.
And Caitlyn. Yeah,
Yeah.
Caitlyn is really good at discouraging half-hearted sieges.
Yeah, interestingly, both of these bot laners have gone for Static Shiv first. I think with Caitlyn, you usually see the Infinity Edge. I think Static Shiv offers a little bit more of that AoE wave clear
Mm-hmm.
early on.
Fluffykins
Fluffykins going right after Turtle Hit. His AD carry is not with him. Yeah,
Fluffykins, I
does
don't know
not actually
about
want
this
that
one.
fight.
Yeah.
See, the thing about Janna is that you're really good at getting out. You're pretty god-awful at going in.
Fluffykins trying to protect the pink ward.
That's not
Again,
happening.
nobody with him. Turtle Hit, if he turned around, could have gotten a lot of damage.
Ooh.
Lands the hook onto False Cut. Tyrannoboss with the
That is
lockdown,
so
but not
much
enough
damage.
damage follow-up. Gets the Ezreal down to about half health, but might go down here. That
Yeah,
is
he
the
does.
shutdown gold from False Cut.
Too many turret shots taken
Yep.
there.
Yeah, and that's Nautilus is big and tanky, a lot of armor, but got a little ahead of the turret shots and
Yep.
didn't have any of the damage follow-up from the
And
rest of the
didn't-
team. They're just a bit
right.
too far behind.
You
False
really
Cut,
need more backup if
Yeah.
you're going to go for this one.
this time getting out of the stun.
You can't dive half-heartedly.
Oh, I think he was diving pretty full-heartedly. Just not the rest of the team.
It was the best of dives. It was the worst of dives.
Yeah. So
That was not a very good dive.
Iceborne Gauntlet, actually one of the best items tanks can get these days because it gives you
20%
20% CDR, plus the Sheen, plus the giant slow field, especially if you're stacking armor. That is a massive slow field.
Yep.
You see False Cut's slow field. Now imagine something about twice the radius, and that's what tanks can get up to. It's a little silly. Especially if you're against a team that is as AD heavy as Team8s.
Yeah, they do
It's
have an
a-
AD mid.
You love to stack that. You know, Lysandra does do magic damage, but it is not very threatening to tanks.
Oh, and it looks like we're going to have a ZZ Rot portal on Shyvana.
Excellent. I like that, actually.
I do like that. Yeah, that's the... there's a decent amount of wave clear coming out, so it is going to be counterable coming out. And
Ooh.
some damage coming out onto Narfi. Green Bay going to try and dive in to collapse on both of them. All 5 members of Teammates are around here. They are going to get this pick. There's the Zonia's Hourglass, but it's not going to do anything, and that's a 5-on-2 fight, getting 2 kills.
So if we look at the vision coverage that RR had coming into that,
there
we
was
see
none
a
in the bot
distinct
lane.
lack of vision coverage. There is no reason they should have been so far up or had anything to do with that whatsoever.
They do have some great deep wards in the top side jungle, but yeah, as you say, nothing in the bottom side jungle. Ton of wards littered around there for
That's going
Teammates.
to cost them the bot turret. Hey, you got to play to your strengths. If you have wards in the top side jungle, you can't be trying to look around here for God knows what. That's not going to work out for you.
And turret does go down in the bottom side,
Yep.
and red buff stolen away from Green Bay. So they're controlling this bottom side jungle quite well right now, actually. They're going to rotate down and get a little bit of damage onto this turret. I don't think they're going to be able to siege this.
Impeccable vision. Impeccable vision from the teammates, by the way. Like, this is really good, guys. This is really, really good. What is that, 3-4 pink wards on the map? Oh,
marvelous.
my support main heart swells.
If I were on that side, the only person who wouldn't place a pink ward would,
Probably
in my
you.
mind, be Cruiser, because he wants to save it for when he has to duel the Vayne.
Yeah.
I actually will
That's
do
very
this
fair.
a lot of the time as an AD carry main. If I'm against a Vayne or a Twitch or any stealth champion, I won't actually place my pink wards. I will save them for the duels.
Or you could buy 2 pink wards.
Yeah, I'm just saying that.
Well, I do that as well sometimes, but the thing is, the moment I have the duel with the person,
You're
the other
using
pink
one
ward
of
is going to go.
Pretty sure you don't even use 2 pink wards in most of your games, Adam.
I
Harsh
buy
words.
at least like 2 pink wards every game.
All
It's
right,
very
all
rare
right.
that I don't. I actually buy a lot more pink wards than a lot of people.
I mean, the average pink ward stat on champion.gg is pretty disappointing for every champion, including the supports. Guys, if you play support, please buy pink wards. Like, please don't be that support that averages 2 pink
And
wards.
Tyrannobos going forward,
Gotta
flash
flash
out of
that.
from
Gotta flash
Fluffykins.
that.
Yep.
No
he
choice.
was
Good respect, Flash. Actually, both of the main damage threats far away, but I don't think they were. I don't think they really knew that with exactly where they were.
Nautilus has
plenty
enough
of damage to
Yeah.
switches. Let's be honest.
That is true. And
He also
Fluffykins
has
is
enough
pretty
lockup.
squishy.
He has enough
Yeah.
lockup for it to not matter too much.
Yep. And we do see the second items coming in now for both of these AD carries. Infinity Edge on Caitlyn, not very surprising. Rapid Fire Cannon coming through on Vayne.
Ooh, that
So
is a little surprising.
2 of the attack speed items.
We
haven't
have
seen
not-
the Blade of the Ruin.
We
Cannon
haven't
yet.
seen that build in months.
Yeah, because the damage
Well, we haven't
doesn't...
seen Rapid Fire Cannon for months. So.
Yeah. Well,
Shots
rapid
fired.
fire cannon does by far the least
Rapid
damage
shots fired.
of,
Rapid shots fired.
Yeah, okay, the irony. The rapid fire cannon. It's called rapid, but it gives the least attack speed. I'm not counting Triforce as a Zeal item here. It gives the least attack speed of any Zeal item.
And
Gives-
pings onto Baron coming out from teammates. They see not a lot of vision. Do kill that pink ward.
Yeah.
And I guess they figure they've been spotted out now.
Yeah.
and
Also,
wanna
just
protect
the
their mid.
damage from Static Shift is higher and crits. So, yeah, rapid fire cannon, unless you really need that extra ranged auto attack, it's not necessarily the best of items.
Yeah,
in
the
my
extra range
opinion.
auto attack, pretty nice on Vayne.
Yeah,
It
is.
does have to be said. Gravitas getting trapped. Actually, that's pretty nice. So one thing to note is the line of traps from Caitlyn is within turret range.
Yeah, remember the thing about Caitlyn discouraging sieges?
Doing a bit of that. Green Bay split pushing in the bot lane.
I mean, they don't have a choice. They have to go in, or else they're going to lose their top turret for nothing.
False
But
cut
that
gets-
Nautilus Assault is not going to reach in time.
Yep, gets popped up by the Nautilus Assault, but again, not a lot of follow-up. Gravitas diving in there. Green Bay's actually split pushed and killed this
this
turret in the
is a
bot
bad
lane.
fight.
ZB Tech gets killed off by the Ezreal.
Oh!
Double kill coming in onto Volibear. No answer for that, so that's a 2-0 fight. 4 against 5 defending in the mid lane. Meanwhile, Green Bay is actually pushing the inhibitor turrets. False Cut gets caught out. Another good Janna ultimate, going to keep the team at very high health. Narfi with the stun. Caitlyn coming in. Cruiser gets the kill in the backside of that fight. That is 3 kills for none. Long death timer, so still another 20 seconds for most of this team to come back up. And Green Bay going to be diving in onto Turtle Hit, the Condemn pushing him back. But that's going to be an inhibitor going down in all likelihood in this bottom lane before Green Bay does go down. And indeed it does. Gonna be backing off. Turtle Hit might be able to push him down, but it's only Tyrannobos in this mid lane going down to 4 members. And that is 4 kills across this whole extended fight. Green Bay gets out with his life. That is a great, great push from Team8s.
That was such good execution from the teammates. Oh my god.
And just
That was so good. That was so fun to watch.
over diving from ARAR at the same time, not really going in at the same time with the 2 big
That's
tanks.
the main
Actually,
problem. That's the
tanks
main problem.
weren't the ones tanking the turrets. The
Yeah,
Tech was the one taking the turret.
And I think they also didn't respect that Caitlyn anti-siege. We saw it was Gravitas getting caught on one of those traps in turret range, taking shots, taking all of the poke from Ezreal.
They had no way in, and
so,
Caitlyn and Ezreal could just chip them down.
The problem is not necessarily that they went in, because you don't actually have a lot of options in that scenario. Not when Green Bay is actually pushed up to your inhib turret. Teammates can cancel your recalls pretty much at will with the Ezreal ultimate. You kind of have to go in and look for that fight 5v4, but the execution of Team8s team fighting was just so good. The Caitlyn traps provided the perfect zone, the Lissandra CC. Like, we saw Narfi get multiple Syndra stuns on 3-4 people, and it amounted to absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
because the kiting and disengage was just so good.
You just can't go through that line of Caitlyn traps.
What a great fight to watch.
They had to path around the Caitlyn traps.
Oh my god.
And they were just completely funneled into these tiny corners. Very easy for Kaleido to just get down that snare, that ultimate.
Yeah, so really good setup from Cruiser, 30
good.
seconds, a minute before that fight to make sure that dive was much harder.
This is the point in the game where it takes less than a minute for you to charge up your 5 traps.
Yep.
And that's just a great time. Like, once you hit level 13, that's when it happens.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And it's great for both sieging and counter siege. And really what they needed to do is hold that turret while Green Bay split pushed, and they did.
They did.
Yeah.
They did that perfectly.
And
so
that's
ARAR
topping it down, and they got mid lane inner turret.
And Gravitas has the
And
red
a bot
buff
turret,
rather
too.
than the AD carry, which I think was probably not what he meant to do there.
So
what ARAR can do about that in the future, deal with the split push and don't take that fight.
Yeah.
You don't have to take that fight if you don't have to. The thing is, at that point, they were pretty
Well said, Fred.
Well, okay.
You don't have to take that fight.
All right. The thing is, at that point, they actually kind of had to take that fight, or else they would have just lost everything for free. So they had to try. Like, I don't blame them for trying, but they shouldn't have been in that scenario in the first place. Can they actually contest this?
They cannot contest this. It's good ult from Fluffykins, keeping Gravitas out of the fight. A great Ezreal ultimate as well, hitting 2 members. ZB Tech going to take some damage from the Caitlyn ultimate. Flashes out, doesn't quite go down, but Green Bay is close by. Can't quite finish off ZB Tech, but Turtle Hit gets locked up with the ultimate from Lissandra still available. We'll have to see if they chase with the Claw here. And Turtle Hit looks like might just about get out of this fight. Claw coming in, out not in range for the W.
Oh, the slow hits,
slow down.
Slow hits.
And they are chasing this very far. Cruiser does get the kill. Yeah, they have all 5 members up. It's just 2 down on the other side. Tyrnabas in the middle of the fight. Again, though, separated from the damage dealers, goes down as they can just focus this Nautilus.
Ooh.
A nice return from Narfi using that ultimate onto the Ezreal. So there's going to be a 3-for-1, but Narfi uses the Zonias, is still in the middle of the fight. That is an ace now.
That's
with
it.
Gravitas
That's
just
game.
coming back up. And this is going to be the Nexus going down. Gravitas jumping into the middle, can't get onto anybody. Getting to do the dance spam at the end. Oh, Cruiser, let him live. And Nexus goes down. Team8s taking game number 1 in this first match of the spring tournament.
After what looked like some really big deficits in the laning phase, Team 8 come back to that with some really great team play, really good vision coverage, and excellent team fighting to close out that game.
And really making full use of their comp. They weathered that early laning phase, even though they had the losing lane matchups, which we saw in both top and mid. They actually were able to stay pretty even.
Yeah, especially in top lane, we saw Tyrnabas taking some great early plays, both in the solo lane and
Kaleido was actually able to make some really good roams and get some picks as Lissandra. Meanwhile, and then just executing their win condition, which was Green Bay split pushing to death while the other 4 kited and team fought with the kite team fight composition. Really well played by Team8s.
Yep.
All right,
really
so
well done.
We are going to be back in just a couple of minutes with game number 2. This is a best of 3 series, so if we see Team8s win this next one, this will be the last game for tonight. Otherwise, we'll be going to game number 3. So we're going to leave you with some silver scrapes and see you on the Rift shortly.